What's up guys, Alberto Big Boost here, reporting back with the videos. I am finally back from Wisconsin. It was such an awesome time at Super D with Adam. I'm so stoked that he actually did win the competition, even though it was with a rental car because the 240 was again out of commission. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened in today's video. As you already saw with that little creepy intro, yes, that's the turbo that was on the car. I believe that we might have pushed the horsepower rating on the turbo and it caused it to overspin the safe handling speed of the turbo and actually made it somewhat come apart. This right here is the compressor wheel of the turbo. As you can see, it's a little bit damaged, but it's not so bad since you can see the shaft kind of broke in the front, so the nut and a little piece of the shaft actually hit all over the blades, and you can see it did all these marks. I'm really surprised that that's the only amount of damage that this thing sustained after spinning at such high RPMs and causing it to break like this. Then over here we have the turbine wheel and shaft. As you can see, the turbine wheel itself sustained a little bit of damage on the corners, and then the shaft snapped in the middle as well. Then over here we have the turbine housing. It's just has a few scuff marks since this is very heavy duty stainless steel. It's very durable and it was able to contain the exhaust wheel in it, and it did not come out of the housing, which is really impressive. Normally when you break an exhaust shaft, when you break a turbine shaft, the first thing that happens, the turbine literally shoots out of the exhaust, out the muffler or whatever, could hit somebody, or we don't know what happens, or just it's gone forever. In this case, it actually contained within the housing. The compressor wheel also was contained within the housing and it did not go anywhere. Even when I took the filter off, the nut was literally just chilling right there and it did not get sucked into the engine. So I did not make it pass between the compressor wheel and the housing. So that's very good, so that no debris was sent into the engine, just maybe a few little shards of aluminum from this grinding on the housing, but that's about it. That's very easy to clean, and then we're back on the road. Then as far as the exhaust, well, it did grind quite a bit, but then again, no like damage that could affect the engine whatsoever. So I'm actually very impressed with the awesome qualities this Turbo by Garrett G series turbos have. Also, as you can see, and been probably wondering what is this little thing for, I'm gonna explain to you in this video what it's for, and we're actually gonna be messing with that today. Over here we have two Honeywell Turbo by Garrett boxes. As you can see, we have not one but two replacement turbos. So we're gonna build one copy of the turbo when we're gonna have a backup of that turbo as well. That way, in case we do bring this one all down to failure again, we have another one as a backup. So this is pretty much gonna be the test dummy in some kind of words, and then this one's gonna be the backup after all testing is done. So what I want to do, I want to push the absolute limits of these turbos while monitoring the turbo RPMs and see how far we can push it until it actually blows up, unless we actually turn it down and not blow it up. But we have two choices. We can actually push it to the very last minute and data log how much power can these turbos actually produce. We want to see how much these turbos can actually produce before failure, and then we have a backup for that. Comment below if you guys want to see the turbo blow up again, or will you think it actually holds up this time. I don't know, but I want to see just how far we can push this new Turbo by Garrett G series turbos and how much power can they actually produce. I'm actually estimating that we already did exceed the HP rating on these turbos. It's 550 horsepower. The car's making about 510 wheel horsepower, so that means it's over 550 crank horsepower, which we absolutely did surpass the horsepower rating of these turbos. So that means they're actually producing power all the way through failure. Some turbos just like won't produce any more power, but this thing just want more and more. This is incredible. I also have a few goodies over here. I have two Vibrant 90-degree elbows that I'm gonna be welding on the new turbos, and I have two -4 AN fittings that we're gonna pretty much replicate this housing that I had previously made for the other turbos. You can see I welded a 90-degree elbow, and then it has fitting over here, which is for the boost controller. So I'm gonna try to replicate this exact same housing 2 more times. The oil drawing is pretty much the only thing I'm not gonna do once more. I'm just gonna take this one off from here, put it with a new gasket on the other turbo, and it's good to go. Then also the new housings come already equipped with new water fittings, so I don't have to move those over to the new ones. The only thing I'm gonna change is the oil inlet, because I think the size of this one is different than the one that comes already supplied with the turbos. Let's see. Alright guys, let's go ahead and open these boxes and see what we got inside. It's like a nice unboxing of Turbo by Garrett turbos. It's the most exciting thing ever. Big boost opening boost. Let me take just the tape from both boxes at the same time, so I don't have to do it twice. Alright, let me put this over a little bit. And let's see what we got in here. It's a baby turbo inside a turbo box. Yeah, that. You notice there's gonna be a turbocharger installation slip inside every Turbo by Garrett box. Make sure you read this and follow the instructions to the letter. That way you prevent turbo failures. So we got this box. I want to see what's on the other box. Ooh, this is the kind of stuff I wanted to see. I'll explain to you guys what this is in a second. And then we have another baby turbo box. And another turbo installation slip. Before I get into any details with the turbo wheel speed sensor, we're going to go ahead and open these because we first have to modify the compressor housing on these turbos in order to make them fit on the 240. So let's get started by opening these boxes and see what the contents look like. So these are 2 Garrett G25 550 turbos. These are, like the name says, they're capable of 550 wheel horsepower. So these little things actually do pack a punch. Like I'm telling you, they do pack a punch, they mean it. This car literally spun 4th gear, just like going on the road was like ridiculous. I was still like, how is this even possible? Then you look at the turbo, it's so tiny, how's it gonna make that power? Well, that's how great these turbos are. They produce a lot of power and they offer a small frame so you can pretty much fit in on whatever you want. And the lag is just so minimal as well. It's like, look how baby this turbo looks, yet it makes so much power, it's incredible. So we got one turbo out. Then we're gonna take the other one out as well. So let's go ahead and open this. Put this aside. Take this little foam piece off. Oh my god! I thought the turbo was gonna fall. Literally just like turn on the table. That was the scariest thing ever. But it didn't fall. That was so sketchy. I almost lost my life just now. Alright, here we go. Now we don't have just one, but we have 2 Turbo by Garrett G25 turbos. So that's twin turbo SR, and see if we can make 1,000 horsepower then. Who's down? So we got 2 super cores, which are basically center housing with the compressor housing attached to it. We will be using the old exhaust housing, which is still intact, and then it's pretty much just a B-band clamp away from switching housing, which is very nice and simple. I need to go ahead and remove this housing, so I'm going to use this little impact. It's going to make work so much easier. There we go. Now pretty much put this aside and it pulls right off. Here we have the full assembly, all the way out housings. You can see how beautiful this wheel looks. Just look at this. Let me zoom in on this for a little bit. Look how awesome this wheel looks. That's what I call billet art. I have both turbos ready to be modified, but I forgot one thing. I may have left the vise in the trailer, and now Tommy has a trailer at the warehouse. I'm gonna have to go over there real quick, go pick it up, and then I can resume working because I can't hold everything on the table. So I like putting the housings and everything on the vise. That way it's very easy to weld and I can do precise welding, which is what I like doing. I've got the vise back. Now I have the vibrant 90-degree elbow here. Now I'm gonna do a hole right in the center about here. Then I am going to install, I'm going to weld in a vibrant -4 AN fitting. It's pretty much gonna go right here like this, just like the other one. I must say that it's a pretty nice weld right there. Check it out. Is that clean or what? Then the new elbow is gonna be welded pretty much right here. I have it already angled exactly how I have the other ones. Pretty much the little middle part is gonna be like a little bit over below the letters that say Garrett. Now let's weld this thing up. Alright, we have our first housing all welded up. Now I gotta wait for it to cool down. Then I'm gonna put the other one on the vise and weld the elbow and make it just like that one, which is a copy of the old one. The last housing is all completed and ready to go. Now I just have to wait for it to actually cool down in order for me to touch it. What do you guys think? And this, guys, is how you step up the turbo game. Just zoom out a little bit and a little bit more. Aha! 3 copies of the same turbo. Back to back. Productivity. Spares. Turbo by Garrett. Horsepower. We should do a triple turbo car. We should put 3 turbos on the Skyline. That was 550, 550, 550. So that means you can make 1650 horsepower with these 3 turbos. Interesting. 1500 horsepower, you say? What if we put 4 of those on an LS or something? That means you can make 2000 horsepower LS with 4 little turbos. oh my God, we need to do this. Somebody please fund this. We need to do this. Let's get it. That would be epic, and it will sound so cool as well. But anyways, back to reality. Let's put the servos back together and get this car running tonight. We have our compressor housing. We're gonna go ahead and insert the center cartridge, place it right here. Then we're gonna put the backing plates with the logo facing up, of course. So it's 3 of these. They have the really nice, cool Turbo by Garrett logo on it. Then I'm gonna take 6 bolts. I'm just gonna finger tighten these into place because I still want to be able to rotate the center cartridge to align everything with how I had all the lines set up. I'm gonna take this B-bend clamp, I'm gonna slide it over the whole thing, and then I'm gonna put the turbine housing, slide the clamp right over, then you gotta like tighten this so you can put the knot in there. Somehow it's so oily. There we go, something like that pretty much. I am now mucking the turbo in place. As you can see, it fits like a glove. I had the housings loose, so I had the ports where I need them to face. So you want oil pretty much facing straight up. Then you got the water lines on both sides. Then I got my return line all the way down here, which is an AN fitting with an extension, which it should literally pretty much go over here like this. And then the downpipe, very importantly, has to be able to line up perfectly how I had it. Relaxed fit right there on the money. So that's that. I got a little bit of clearance over here, a little bit of clearance from the wastegate, and now we're good to go. I gotta tighten the housing bolts. I'm gonna have to remove the turbo, tighten those up, and then put the turbo back in the car. Remember that little black square I was telling you guys about earlier? This is what it looks like taken out. So this is a plug for the speed sensor port. Then over here we actually have the speed sensor that goes in that port. So I removed the plastic piece from the turbo on the SR, which as you can see is finally all mounted minus the intake. So we're gonna go ahead and pretty much just insert this over here like this, and then we're gonna replace the bolt and torque it to 7 foot-pounds of torque. And this is what it looks like all installed. Now I'm still waiting for the gauge, so I'm just gonna pretty much just leave the plug around here for now until we get the gauge. Then next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna disconnect the cam sensor on the SR. That way there's no trigger to fire up the engine. I want to prime oil into the turbo before the first start. All right, here we go, moment of truth. Grab the key over here, let's crank it up. It's alive! And it's about to die because it doesn't want to idle. There we go. Good as new. Alright, now we're playing the system. Sounds so good. I love this car. Mission accomplished, guys. The SR has a new turbo. It's back on functional mode. It just needs to probably be street tested. But before we do that, we gotta get new tires for the front wheels. So I'm waiting on that for tomorrow. And then I think that's pretty much it. We just gotta hopefully we just gotta make sure that everything is working. Well, thank you guys for watching. Please smash that like button and subscribe for more awesome content. I got tons of videos lined up for you guys, so stay tuned. Bye bye. Guys, before I finish this video, there's one very important thing that I need to tell you guys. I actually found out what really caused the issue and make the turbo blow up. So the wastegate boost control valve, the wastegate boost control hose that goes from the boost controller to the bottom port of the wastegate actually came off. So that allowed the turbo to just literally overspin and make all the boosts. So I probably was like, oh my god, this thing is ripping. And I was just making all the boosts the turbo could make until it blew up. So I actually put a new bolt on that, tightened it really good. So hopefully it should be good for the next competition and save the turbo. And also, by the way, I didn't know that until I was doing some research from the new Garrett G series turbos. This turbo, the turbo by Garrett G25 550 turbo, it's able to spin up to 185,000 RPMs on an actually safe handling horsepower range. So that's actually really fast. You know your engine, oh, I'm running to 8,000 RPM. Well, this little bad boy over here is spinning all the way to 185,000 RPMs. That's crazy. That's faster than Tommy over there.
No, it's not. I'm way faster than that.